Hello friends, my name is Draco. I'm the artist behind Stargazer Crafts. I'm here today to give you a bit of a peek into my painting process on this little mini watercolor painting. I wouldn't quite call it a tutorial per se. My goal instead is to give you some inspiration for your next piece, and if you're new to watercolor, maybe some helpful tips. Let's jump in. So to start this piece off, I'm going to be laying down a wash. A wash is your foundational layer when you're painting in watercolor. As your foundational layer, the color you use in your wash will peek through all of the layers above, giving your piece undertones and a deeper depth of color. For this piece, I start out with a layer of water in order to wet the paper and let the colors above blend into each other to give a smooth gradient. I then go in with a layer of light blue and a warmer yellowy orange kind of color for the bottom. I plan on blending the two colors together to create a sunset-esque gradient. I've found, especially when doing larger work, it's important to consider the vibe of your piece when choosing your wash colors. Different colors will tint your piece towards being either warmer or cooler, and that can impact the mood and overall vibe that you're going for with your piece. Just something to consider for when you're doing larger pieces. For small mini paintings like this, I find it's a little less important. For me, these mini paintings are more of a way to play than anything else. To experiment, try new things, try color combinations, try different things that I've been struggling with. It's just important to give yourself room to play and experiment when you're painting. It's how growth happens. It's important. Anyways. And now that I've blended my colors together, my blue and my yellow, I'm pretty satisfied with how my sky looks, and I'm ready to start clouds. Coming in with my first color, the color I want to be the lightest, most vibrant, I'm starting out with my pink. For my first layer, I'm starting off pretty light with a watered down shade. I was always told when I was learning how to do watercolor to go from lightest to darkest, because you have to really work to build those dark values in watercolor, and if you go too dark, you can't really get back from that. Once it's on the paper, it's on the paper. So you start light and you build your values, build your colors up, get darker as you go. Starting light also gives you the opportunity to have layers. Because of the medium of watercolor and its translucent abilities, you can really do some interesting things with different colors and layering. Layering multiple colors together, you can get different color values. Like if you were to layer blue and yellow together, you would end up with a green instead of just blue on top of yellow. So it's interesting to play around with that and see what colors you can make just by layering instead of mixing them together on your palette. Something else I'd suggest, if you're new to watercolor painting, consider taping the edges of your paper down to a board or to your table. As you can see, I didn't do that here in this painting. My reason was that I wanted the paint to be seamless from edge to edge. I would suggest taping it down. It was a nuisance the entire time I was painting. The paper would shift as I was painting if I didn't hold it down with my fingers, and every so often, if I touched the wrong spot, I'd get wet paint on my fingers or smudge the paint. It's not mandatory, but it's something to consider if you want to make your life a little bit easier while you're painting. Now we're coming in for that second layer on the clouds, coming in with more of that dusky pink to add some shadow and some depth. And with each layer, we want to add a little bit less than the layer before to allow a little bit of what's underneath to shine through. Let some of that lighter pink come through and let the blue, the base tone, come through underneath that. Now that we're done with the pink, we're going to let that dry, and we're going to move on to the lower half of this piece. Looking at it, you'll notice that I left it blank when I did my initial wash. In retrospect, I do wish that I had washed it with the same yellow as above. I think it would have tied everything together a little bit more. I think it would have added a little bit to the look of the sun peeking through the trees, but I don't dislike the way it looks as it is. This is a little bit of a learning moment. This is why we have fun. This is why we experiment when we paint, so we can look back on it and learn and grow. As it is, I'm coming in and adding through a layer of purple, starting with a thin layer and then building up those values, adding different layers and textures in the purple. This is going to be foliage, and I'm now coming in with my thinnest brush, coming in with that same dark purple to add in some branches for a small tree poking above the rest of the foliage, adding in some definition. I don't do a lot of these voiceovers. I do feel like I've maybe talked your ear off a little bit here, so I'm gonna let the video play out for a bit, and I'll jump back in when I have something else to add. Okay, so I do have to admit something. I recorded this video in quite a few different bits, and you'll notice this coming up. I skipped a little bit here. Somehow it seems either the recording messed up, it didn't record properly, something happened, and I missed the entire blue part of the clouds here. I looked everywhere. I tried to find the video of me painting this part. I didn't see it anywhere. I'm so sorry to have skipped out on like a pretty substantial amount of the painting here, but I hope you can forgive me. I didn't want to just scrap this entire video once I realized this had happened, so I decided to edit it together anyways and just acknowledge that I messed up here. Forgive me. I am listening and learning. I'm so sorry to have skipped out on this part, but I hope you like the way it looks and enjoy the rest of the painting process. It should be mainly details, adding in some more trees, some more foliage, defining a bit more of the details here. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I also would like to take the time to mention another painter. I first started painting trees with this technique years ago after seeing them post about it on their page. Their username is @thiswritingdesk on Instagram. They're a watercolor painter. They do paint-alongs, technique videos, all kinds of things, and they're an amazing resource if you're learning how to paint, and their art is just really nice to look at. So I've been using this technique for years. If you want to learn some more cool watercolor techniques, feel free to go check out their Instagram. I heavily suggest it. Alright, and these are the final brush strokes. With that, I consider this piece complete. This is Sunset Sky. And here's the finished piece. Like I said before, there's a couple of things I'd change if I did it again, but overall I am really happy with how it turned out. I really like the way the clouds came out. I am very satisfied. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Tell me about your most recent painting, if you have any tips and tricks yourself for watercolor painting, anything you want to add. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.